It is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022 at 6:21 Eastern Time, USA. This is Mitch Miller's Video Journal. And we are systematically challenging the United States military to a pistol duel or wrestling match. So we'll start with that. If you achieve the rank of Warrant Officer 1 or its equivalent in any of the branches of the United States military, I challenge you to a duel using non-lethal paintball gun pistols. Since we do not have these prototypes, we'll revert to a wrestling match using scholastic rules. If you win the duel, you will delay me challenging the next rank down, which we're getting into non-officers in the military, for 6 months. And you will get a piece of my photography or painting art valued at millions of dollars. If I win, you must find money in your budget to fund my non-lethal and smart weapons company. If you cannot get approval of that budget, you must use your own personal monies to seed money for this weapons company. In return, you will receive a stock certificate giving you partial ownership of the company and or a piece of my art valued at millions of dollars. That's all I have to offer at this point. If you ignore this challenge, if you don't accept the challenge, you are first and foremost a coward, and the blood and death of any military action around the globe is on your hands for not validating and justifying this form of modern warfare, a form of warfare that values marksmanship and hand-to-hand combat skills rather than hiding behind control panels and firing missiles and lasers and energy beams into foreign territory. The time of hiding behind your technology, firing rockets that go 2,000 miles while you safely sip a cup of coffee in a bunker somewhere, those days are over. It's time to fight wars person to person, make eye contact, see your foe, and then take them on. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my motorcycle. I don't know if we're still selling raffle tickets around the Pentagon, around the military bases. But first I want to say this. When I did my modcast in my living room, I'm sure there's hours and days of me in a form of psychosis talking to my television. Some of it interesting, some of it pretty out there. But I did say that FBI agents, any government agent that utilizes pornography, could be propping up the sex slave trade, human trafficking, because they cannot verify and guarantee how their pornography was made, where it came from, if that person on that video or in that picture was coerced or forced into those situations. Now, I haven't used digital pornography other than a DVD that came with a magazine. The same DVD I've used for 4 years, I'm going to say now. Before that, I was just using magazines because I felt that using a computer that was here, a similar computer to this, that some intelligence agencies were profiling me based on the type of pornography that I was clicking on. But even before that, I didn't watch videos. I clicked on pictures because, in my opinion, the videos give you viruses. But since 2014 or 15, I have not utilize pornography other than magazines and one DVD that came when I purchased a Penthouse magazine, and I hope that was on the up and up. But it does sound like the woman involved in the video I watch very frequently has some kind of accent, possibly Eastern European or Russian. Now we may have stopped by me talking about the order, about the skull and bones. We may have stopped the murder of Russian human trafficked sex slaves taking place in Berlin. I'm trying. I know I get the airwaves from everywhere, Russia, China, everything. And when I'm in Europe, I can see what happens there. And I think I was predicting the future there. I don't think there was actual people in the freezers. I didn't look, but it was a hypothetical. And hopefully that can resolve some issues with Russia. Anyhow, back to federal agents utilizing pornography. In my opinion, it qualifies me to a higher degree to be a federal agent than any FBI agent or other federal agent that uses pornography. But the reason I'm bringing this up is nobody seems to want to fund any of my genius, brilliant ideas using technology. So I'm waiting to hear back. I'm waiting to form a board for the TRAFNet nonprofit. Nothing's coming through on that. No one's stepping up for that. So I'm going to go into porn. There's money in porn. Maybe people are hesitant because they don't see how it makes money. Well, there's money in porn. So I'm going to bring guilt-free porn, non-sex trafficked pornography out onto a platform that diversifies in other exploited photography, monetizes it, and gets it to the people that are affected by this exploitation. And basically I'm going to form a network of photographers that can find human trafficked, at least sex trafficked victims, and maybe take down some of these sex traffickers and things like that. So that's where I'm at. If you want to see the platform, I'm going to type it up maybe tomorrow, in the next couple days. I'm not going to talk about it on here. I'm going to reach out to sex workers and email them the details and see if they're interested in funding this project. So that's where I'm at with that. So to talk about my motorcycle, in 2013, 2014, I had the motorcycle. I had my cousin's husband, who's a mechanic, rebuild the carburetor and clean it up, and we got it painted. I painted it black. It was purple. I took all the Yamaha emblems off. I ground off the Yamaha on the engine, and so it just says M. It's black. We did some other tune-up things, and I basically wanted to scope it out for bugs. I knew this was the only vehicle I had that was not bugged, so I used that vehicle in 2014, 2015, that motorcycle, to drive all over western Pennsylvania distributing my novel M. I knew I had published it on Amazon. I knew I had hard copies, and I knew some people wouldn't like it. I might even be targeted for execution because of that book. But the thing is, if they killed me, that would mean that the book would get mass distribution, and the powers that be probably didn't want that. So I secretly drove around without a cell phone, distributing this book on my motorcycle to different college campuses throughout western Pennsylvania, and there's quite a few. Then I thought, what if you're being watched by a satellite everywhere you go? What if the CIA is watching me, the NSA is watching me? How would I escape that satellite? Because it would target where I normally would be and my electronics and hone in on me. How could I escape secretly without my family or anyone knowing and slip the book even further away than what I had been doing? So, one weekend in the summer, the cornfield down at Marshall's Field was up high. I decided to camp. I was painting Hillary's parents' house or doing something, some work up where I would be staying with my parents, and I decided to camp. I told them I'd be camping. I brought my motorcycle up, and I also worked out to bring my work truck up. I rode my motorcycle up and rode back with my wife one time, and I had both vehicles up there. So I camped. I brought my motorcycle and my truck down to Marshall's Field, and one morning early at 5 in the morning I got up, and leaving the truck at the campsite so it would look like I was down there, I took off on my motorcycle and I drove on the interstate 2 states over. I took off like a bat out of hell. I went 80 miles per hour, and I went to Indiana near Fort something on the eastern side of Indiana, kind of north. I went there, stopped at a gas station, asked how to get to the college campus because I had looked at it on paper maps. This is all without a phone. An Indian woman, a woman from India working at the gas station, told me how to get to the college campus. I went to the college campus. There were electricians working in the building that I entered. I left the book on a counter, got back on my motorcycle, stopped for lunch in Indiana, and drove all the way back. So I think I rode 3.5 to 4 hours over across the whole state of Ohio, and then 4 hours back. Made it back for dinner time. So those are some of the stories about this motorcycle. In my mind, they were at NSA headquarters saying, where the fuck is he going? And I outran the satellites, and for a day was not monitored. Now with this book, I typed up a special message, a letter about disarmament, and that was tucked into each book I distributed, or at least the one in Indiana. So that's my story about my motorcycle. Tune in next time when I talk about Twitter, the potential of Twitter or a platform that tracks receipts and expenditures for different people. And again, if you're a computer programmer, if you're a female FBI agent or a female federal agent, and you know how to design a web platform, please contact me. I have the photography equipment. Let's build this platform to fight sex slavery, to deliver guilt-free porn that's verified by our network of photographers, so that people can click on still photographs and rest assured that the subjects in those photographs were not exploited, were not forced into sex slavery, and that's the best I can do. There's money in it, so I'm going to go to the strippers around Pittsburgh and see if they approach them and see if they'd be interested, or let them approach me and see if they'd be interested. So hopefully it works out and I can get this going in the next couple months, and we'll have a platform. If I can't find a computer programmer, I'm just going to use a generic that generic platform that helps you get projects done, that you hire Indian programmers or whoever from whatever country, because this can be a global thing. So that's where I'll go if no one approaches me about helping me with this project, but I really think you should. You know I have great ideas, and this could be the launch pad. It'll be a for-profit company, but we'll take very little money. You'll see when you see the emails going out to people you're probably profiling and recruiting, namely strippers around different cities. Thanks for watching. Join me next Wednesday for another segment.